Coming up on this episode of the Spiro podcast.
Sometimes you need to step back and you need to look to the adjacent wall and is that window open for you to go through?
Welcome to the Spiro podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. With your hosts, Todd Kivimaki and Craig Magrum.
Hi, and welcome to the Spiro podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. Spiro is a software platform designed to help you manage and grow your real estate media and marketing business. I'm Craig Magrum, host of the podcast, and always glad to be with you. And every week, our co-host and owner and founder of Spiro, Todd Kivimaki. I was going to say it's a beautiful Friday morning when we're recording this, but I think we have storms rolling in, but we're going to enjoy the day.
And it's not even Friday, Craig. It's Thursday.
Yeah,
we tricked you.
Yeah. That's
so y'all. It's Thursday. We normally record on Fridays, and it's an hour earlier. So you're gonna. I'm normally not great on this, so take a step down from that. So I don't know what that's going to put me in today, but I'm excited regardless to be here with you. I've got my coffee in front of me. On Thursday, it's cool. I go into Panera every morning. I'm this Sip Club membership they have now. Mm-hmm. And I'm getting to know, this is bad, I'm getting to know the people the different days of the week they're in. So I pull up and there's this white Volvo and this one guy's, it's an older gentleman club that they get together, a group of guys. And he's got an older BMW convertible at the top down. I'm like, oh, good, it's Thursday. I pull and I see the cars in the parking lot. I'm like, it's Thursday. It just reminds me, but it's kind of fun to see those guys. But anyways, regardless, it's great.
I just had something pop on my mind as you're saying that, Todd, and this is going to show our age, but I feel like this is an episode of Cheers when you walk into Panera.
Yes.
Todd!
Exactly,
Norm!
yeah. Yes.
Anyway, just
very true.
Just popped in my head.
It's a great way to start the day, though. So for you morning people out there, hopefully you're not listening to this, for you non-morning people, hopefully you're not listening to this, because I feel you. I was not a morning person for quite a few years. But regardless, it is great to be here with you today. Yes. We've got some pertinent and exciting topics. The way that we come up with these topics are either one, you email and ask us or call us, or it's something that's going on at WOW. WOW Video Tours is our real estate media company. We shot just over 12,000 listings last year. This is the 19th year of business we've been doing this. And I figured if we're thinking about it, I wanted to put it in your guys' head. So literally the things that we're thinking about and doing as a company for growth, that's what I try to bring to the podcast if we're not answering a user question. So thank you for coming in today and listening to us. We've got some very exciting and pertinent topics today. They're going to be some pillars of your company. But first off, one pillar that you should have is education. I truly believe in education and continuing to expand your mind and continuing to expand your thoughts and just what you're able to do. One great way, PMRE conference. That's photo media, PMRE for real estate conference. Our friend Brandon Cooper, he has been putting it on for quite a few years now. And he's back at it again this November. And if you are looking for a conference to go to, we strongly suggest that conference. That is the conference of conferences. You can find out more information at pmreconference.com. Check it out. They are announcing new speakers on their website every week, I believe, or every month. But they have some up there. You can read about who's going to speak, the events. If you have questions about it, email Craig or I, hello@spiro.media. Also, if you are going to book, just let us know. We've got a coupon code for you, save you a little bit of money, save you $50 off your ticket. And also, if you book, let us know. I'd love to get together with you. I'm going to be there. Craig can't make it this year, but Nick Kellis, who was with us there last year, is also going to be back this year. So just a great conference to attend. Craig, what was your takeaway from the conference?
Well, I think for me, it was networking with other real estate photographers and videographers, and just, a lot of times we feel like we're on an island doing what we do in our various markets, right? There's very few people to interact with. And so just hearing the stories and the experiences of other real estate photographers, you realize, hey, I'm not alone in this. and we're all dealing with similar things. And so just being able to exchange ideas and get to know others in our industry and in different markets, it felt good to connect. I think was my biggest thing. The networking is huge at PMRE.
Agreed. Nothing against the speakers or nothing taken away from the speakers, because they were fabulous as well.
Absolutely.
But wow, just the people was where it was at right there for me too. So I agree with you, Craig.
Yeah. And like you said, lots of great education from the speakers, and you definitely will walk away with new ideas and just cutting edge knowledge and understanding of what it is that we do every day, serving the realtors that we do. So
for sure. Wanted to also mention Spiro. So Spiro is the real estate software platform that we created as WOW. And we've been building software now for 19 years. It's looked way different, and this has gone through many iterations. But I wanted to give you the why real quick, because I think it's important. And if you're not in software, if you're using another platform, I just wanted to see if I could connect some dots. And again, this is the Spiro platform. Or the Spiro podcast, excuse me. So I just wanted to try to bring in the why, because I have a lot of conversations with our listeners out there and people coming in and wanting to know about the software. And as I go through the demo of what the software can do, they have these aha moments like, oh, what is that? And then I explain it and like, oh, that makes so much sense. And the reason is because we are a functioning real estate media company. Like, I'm at the office right now and I have marketing and sales back to my right. I've got my GM, I've got production, I've got customer service all here in the office. And then our business development people are out in the field. And we interact all day, every day as a real estate media company. We just so happen to build software, and we build software that accommodates the needs of our clients, the agents. So, just a little thing as far as like, when in the photographer portal, so we built out a photographer portal that you use in the field that guides you through your day on your phone. And when you complete a job, not only do we note that the filming is completed, but we ask you some questions. One of them is your pace level. And I get this question quite a bit. They're like, what's pace level? And pace level is the amount of time it takes to get through a property. And that is depending on the readiness of a home. Okay, so you all out there, if you're traveling to your next house right now, you are hoping your next house is going to be ready, right? I mean, it's been a while since I've photographed a lot of houses, but I've done a lot in my day. And I remember like, oh, please let it be ready. That you pull up and like, the front door's open, the screen door's like closed, and you can see inside. You see piles of stuff, and you see stuff on the front porch. You see a dog run around. And yeah, exactly, Craig, right?
Yeah.
So pace level is something that we ask so that you can remember the pace level, or your admin or someone else back at the office can remember the pace level. Because if you have an agent that consistently you're showing up to and the pace level is red, so we take it as a stoplight, green, yellow, red. Red means this went pear-shaped. Like this was, I spent way more time here. I was probably late to my next appointment. I was frustrated, and my media was probably not as good as it could have been. Mm-hmm. We note that, help you remember it so that you can reach out to the client and say, hey, do you know that we have a getting ready guide? Hey, do you know we have a checklist for your homeowners? So just wanted to share that one little spot. Those are sprinkled throughout the software. It's like, we built this to use it every single day. We happen to do a lot of jobs in our real estate media company. That's a goal of ours, to do a lot of jobs. So we build it to be efficient and to remember things for us, because that's what software does. Our brains aren't meant to be a memory bank. It can do it, but it stresses under remembering things. Software can do that. So I just wanted to give that quick little why. We created it for ourselves. And we realized we had something special, allowed others to use it. So if you'd like to see a demo of it, if you have questions, you can email me directly, hello@spiro.media. And I would love to show you a demo, answer any questions, show you why we do things a little bit different and how it can help your real estate media company.
Yeah. So, and as a photographer in the field, I do business development and I do shooting our listings in our Toledo market. I can just tell you from a photographer standpoint, I love the tool that I have in my hand where I can check in. I can tell the realtor that we're on our way, so they know and they can have peace of mind that, hey, the photographer is going to be there. They're going to be on time. We call it inside. We call it our pizza tracker. A great tool, and our agents love it because they can also include their home sellers on those notifications. So just the more touch points you have, the better. The more communication you have with your clients and their clients, the better. And it's a professional tool that's easy to use and is going to be a great asset to your business.
Yeah. Awesome. So again, if you'd like to hear more about it, hello@spiro.media, and we're always here to help. So absolutely.
All right. Well, Todd, let's dive into things. I think you want to talk about mindset this week.
Yeah, I do. So this is pertinent to me. So this is a me thing that I thought I would share with you all. But I can get myself in some ruts sometimes where it's like the same thing, and it's like I'm the fly. Any of you read the book U Squared out there? The book starts with an analogy of a fly and a struggling fly, this buzzing sound. And there's a buzz and then a hit, a bunk. And the fly hits the window is what's happening. And the fly falls down. And then the fly, he's got to break through. The fly gets back up again and hits the window even twice as hard. Boom. Falls back down. And then he does it again and again and again. And it's this idea that the fly's never going to break through the window. The thing that the fly doesn't know is the window adjacent to it is completely open. And the fly could fly right out the window. So I can be like that fly many times. And I just think I'm going to get up and I'm going to hit the glass even harder and I'm going to break through it. And it's in those times that I sometimes need to step back and you got to reevaluate. You got to look around like, okay, is there an open window? I'm going this path and I've hit this window so hard to the point that I'm just frustrated with it, or it's not working, or I'm not making the progress that I want to make. Sometimes you need to step back and you need to look to the adjacent wall and like, is that window open for you to go through? And I can get those moments. And sometimes when we push through on a project, I can go real like Papa Bear and like just get angry and try to push through things. And it's a terrible trait of mine that I'm trying to get better at. One thing when that happens is you have to change your mindset. And one thing to do that, this is just a simple practical thing that I changed in my life, was my morning routine. I was in the habit of, I would wake up, and I'd wake up about the same time every day. And I would get out of bed. I would then hop on my phone. I'd scroll headlines that didn't really mean anything. I'd check email real quickly. I'd find something else to look at, not even worthwhile. And then after those 10 minutes, I'd, brush my teeth, I shower in the morning, I'd get ready and go. And I drive to work. I take the same path every day. I live 7 miles from the office or 5 miles from the office. I go down this back country road because our office is in the middle of a cornfield. And I'd pull in, I'd park in the same spot. I'd walk in. My morning routine was the same. And, I'd make my coffee. I'd make a smoothie. I'd come in. I read the Bible in the morning. And then I get ready for work. I open up the email. So just one practical thing is I change that morning routine just a little bit. So I wake up. I try not to get on my phone. Like I just don't turn the thing on because honestly, there's nothing that worthwhile on there. Like, at 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning, if it's that pressing, like somebody's going to call you or text you, like, get off the interwebs and just scrolling headlines. It's just a recipe for like being depressed that day. So I would encourage you, just don't even turn the thing on. And then the one stupid thing that I do different, and it's not that big of a deal, but it brings me some joy, is like I decide we had the Panera Sip Club anyways, and we're not endorsed by Panera. Trust me, Panera has no clue who we are, and so Panera. So you don't have to do Panera. You can do whatever you want. Like I'm not getting any money from Panera. I'm actually paying them money.
Right.
but they have a membership where you can pay them $12 a month and you can get as many coffees as you want. And I thought, we already paying for it. My wife likes it. She gets a nice coffee in the afternoon sometimes. And I'm like, I'm just going to use it. So I changed the direction I went. So now I go down the main road and not the country road. I pull into Panera. I get my coffee. Again, I'm not on my phone yet. I'm listening to my praise and worship music. For you that know me, I love my praise and worship music. My Brandon Lake, my Phil Wickham. I listen to that, and it seems so stupid to even be verbalizing this to you all right now, but I can't tell you, like, it changed my morning, and like my mindset's way different. Like I'm starting to know the people in Panera on the different days of the week. I say hello to people. I don't know what it is, Craig, and I'm not that smart. I don't know a lot about the brain, but like just that little thing, just I get my little cup of coffee and I come in, I talk to a few people along the way. I drive a different path, and it's kind of changed my mindset. Like I walk in, I'm like, okay, let's do this. I still park in the same spot. I still make a smoothie when I get here. I still read the Bible, and then I go into my day. But I don't know. I would just encourage you that if you are in that little bit of rut and you're doing the same thing every single morning, every single day, just change it up a little bit. You would be surprised at how much taking a right turn and going one spot as opposed to always taking a left turn and going one spot can just change your day.
Yeah. I want to key in on two other things that you said in sharing this with us, Todd. And I actually had a very similar conversation with a new client that we picked up yesterday that I was meeting with, and somehow we got on the issue of technology and connectedness, and these things that we're chained to. And yes. I love technology, Todd. I know you love technology. I've my very first computer, again, going to date myself, was a Radio Shack TRS-80 color computer. Right. Yeah. So I grew up with a computer in the house. I love technology. But the first time I got a smartphone, I was in a management job, and I got the smartphone so that I could be in touch more, right, and keep pulse on things. And it got to the point where that thing would go off. This thing would go off so often that just an anxiety started developing. And yeah, I think we can all recognize that there's a level of addiction to being connected all the time while simultaneously causing a lot of anxiety in our lives. And these two realtors I was meeting with, we were talking about that and the importance of family and face-to-face relationships and communication. You talked about the fact that you go into Panera and you're starting to get to know people's names there. We are wired for community. And I think we're wired for face-to-face community. We're not, pardon the pun, we're not wired for virtual communication. We're wired for in-person relationships and communication. And so, yeah, that small change that you've made of, one, breaking the habit of this, and then number two, making a purposeful effort to connect with people human to human, face to face, it's refreshing to us. And yeah, it will change your perspective. And I think it will benefit you in positive ways, not just on a personal level, but, for your family and for business relationships as well. The realtors and I were talking and just about the importance of building business relationships face to face and not doing everything over email. And that's easy to do. It's easy for a realtor to just shoot you an email or a quick text, and you don't ever take the time to get together and consult and brainstorm and build that human relationship. And I think, that things like, I don't want to trash any methods out there, but there's the Instagram method that we know about with marketing our businesses. Effective, it works. I'm not trying to put it down, but I don't think anything beats the face-to-face conversation with a potential client and a current client in benefiting your business. And it's not all about the business. It's just about wholeness being human beings, spiritually, especially otherwise. And yeah, Todd, great insight. I was thinking about that conversation I had yesterday with our new partners, and I think people are just longing for real relationship again and deeper conversations.
Yeah, I agree. One thing I love to say is that, and I'm kind of concluding here, but basically like don't fool yourself to think that you can just program a relationship. You hear these things out there where, the click funnels and all these other things. And again, the Instagram method, not taking anything away from them, but just how deep is that relationship? And, we were wired for a relationship. We were created for a relationship. I mean, not to go too deep on you guys, but I'm not afraid of my faith, and I'd love to share it more with you if you have questions. But I mean, God created Eve for Adam to fulfill him. It's just like we were created to be together. And I believe that 100%. And if you don't believe me, just try it. I'm telling you, buy the darn $12.99 a month or $11.99 a month SIP Club and try to meet some people in there and get to know their names. Honestly, if it doesn't benefit from you, it's a monthly thing, just cancel it. But I just challenge you to do that and to build those relationships and with people that you would never think of building. Like, just don't build them with people that you might sell something to. Mm-hmm. Build it with other people, just because it's going to do good for you. And who knows, those relationships might connect you to the biggest client you ever had. Yeah. So do it for the good of helping others and getting to know others, and you'll benefit tenfold.
Yeah. Good word. Good insight.
Speaking about relationships, let's segue into our next topic here, because these are the most important business relationships that you'll have. Your VIPs. So, you're very important people. And we've been talking about this a lot lately. Craig has a great success story of a new VIP that he just created a relationship with, and that now we have as clients. These are the people that are going to do most of your business. We had a report yesterday. So Steve, our director of sales and marketing, put this together. And I'm looking at all the different divisions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 7 different divisions that we do, and the total number of clients, which is 2,100 clients. And the top 5% of those, it's 108 clients. So 5% of 2,100 clients, 108 clients, that's our top 5%. They do. So our 5% does 30% of our revenue. Just under 29.52% of our revenue. And this is nothing, I saw and I was like, wow, that's a lot. 5% does 30% of our revenue. And then the top 10% does, I'm just looking at it here. The top 10% does 45% of our revenue. So the top 10% of our clients do almost half the revenue in our company. And this is the 80-20 rule. Again, they say 80-20, 90-10. And it's amazing. This rule, and I'm trying to think of the guy who invented it, and I can't give you his name right now. But it exists everywhere. Like, if you don't have your numbers in front of you, and if you don't know what the top 5% or 10% of your clients do in revenue, I'm telling you what, I would bet money on it. I'm not a betting man that the top 5 or 10% do 80 to 90% of your revenue coming in. It just exists everywhere. So if the top 5% is doing 30% of your revenue, then we should take care of these people. These are people that are loyal to you. These are people that are influential. These are people that do a lot of jobs with you. So we've been thinking about a VIP program. Craig, did you want to share? You had a really great journey with some clients that you were, building a relationship for a long time. And I don't know if we can't share anything about that, we can keep it quiet.
Yeah. So, I mentioned just a few minutes ago that I had a meeting with some new clients of ours that are going to bring us all of their listings. We're going to start shooting all of their photos and videos. And these these two realtors, it was just one originally. She's been in the business quite some time. I had met her. I had two initial connecting points. One was at a BNI meeting, and learned who she was, and the fact that this realtor did a lot of business. And a church friend of mine who also used to be in the real estate business, when I first started my real estate business, had given me a list of realtors that I should reach out to, and her name was on that list. So I started to try and get to know her and introduce myself. And for I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, Todd, but for almost the 4 years of my business, I never did earn her business. Now, I had some great conversations with her from time to time, and I would sub in this BNI group every once in a while, and would always take a few minutes to talk with her. And she was always just very kind. Had connected with her on social media, so interacted on and off, but just nothing ever worked out. And I was banging my head against the wall. I'm like, what am I not doing right? So the situation is different now. Now I'm working with Wow Video Tours, and Steve, who we've mentioned, our director of sales, had been working in this area when I had transferred my business to Wow. Steve took over as the business development specialist before I joined the team, and found out that they decided to try Wow Video Tours. I'm like, that's fantastic, because I kept in contact with you guys, and like I tried for a couple of years to get this person. So super happy for Wow. That's awesome. So I was super excited, for Steve and for Wow that this client had come on. Well, it ended up that it only lasted a few listings, because at the time, we as a company, Wow, our scheduling system was set up for our photographers to have a 2-hour arrival window. And for this particular client, after trying us for a few times, it just wasn't working for them. So they quit using us. And they had taken things basically inside. They were doing their own photography. Every once in a while, they were using their brokerage's inside marketing department to then do photos. It was just a mix of things. But I've maintained contact with that client for this whole time. And when I joined Wow, and I took back over this market, this area, again, just continued the conversation, didn't put any pressure on them, but would check in every once in a while and say, hey, if you ever need a backup, I understand you're using, your inside department, but if you ever need a backup, just keep me in mind. I would love to meet with you. And was there any particular reason you did quit using Wow? And so they shared with me the scheduling issue. I said, well, that's changed. We now have exact time scheduling that our software allows you to do, and log on online, and you can set up an appointment anytime. So if that was your major pain point, we've heard you, and that's been addressed by other realtors as well. We fixed that. If that's something you're open to talking to me about, just let me know. And, we do have a special program for your brokerage with pricing and things like that. And they said, oh, okay, well, yeah, let's talk then if you fix that. So I got that opportunity yesterday and sat down. And as soon as I sat down, I said, so-and-so, thank you so much. I said, I know we've been in contact for a number of years now. So I don't take for granted that you're giving me your time right now. And she said, I like you. I wanted to talk, and I'm eager to hear about the fix, to the scheduling. And so we got talking. I said, I don't need to tell you what Wow Video Tours does. You know us, you've used us before. So I'm not going to sell a salesperson. They both kind of smirked. And I said, before I go into anything, I said, the fact that you're giving us another chance to sit down and talk, I said, what is it that you're looking for that your inside sales marketing department is not providing for you, and or you're frustrated doing yourself? Do we actually have the solutions that they're looking for? Right. And so they explained what their pain points were. And of course, the scheduling was the main one. And they knew that we had addressed that. And I told them the story behind it and how we fixed it. And then they also asked the question. I said, they asked, will you be the one behind the shutter? And I said, yeah, I will be. I'm the one photographer in this area. And they said, well, between the scheduling, that's great. And how easy it is to schedule online with your software, and the fact that you'd be doing the shooting for us, we're going to work with you 100%. We're not, because I had again said, if you need us to be back up, they said, no, we don't want mixed systems. We want consistency, and we don't, we want to work with you. And so the years of building that relationship and just staying in contact, not being high pressure, just making myself available, it's culminated now in this relationship where they know they can access me, and I'm going to give them a lot of attention. Between the two of them, they do, I think, between 40 and 45 listings a year. We figured out that would be about 7% of our goal for this market, just with one client. And the fact that they know, okay, Craig is going to be our photographer. And I explained the approach I bring to each of my clients is I'm a part of your team. Yes, we're a subcontractor technically, but we're embedding ourselves in such a way that we're a part of your marketing team and your group. So when I'm on that shoot, I represent you. I'm not representing Wow Video Tours. That might be the name on my shirt, although today it's Spiro. But I'm there as part of so-and-so team. I'm a direct reflection on you. So I'm going to make sure that I represent you well, take care of the client well, explain the whole process to them, reassure them in their mind that they made a great choice in picking you as the realtor because they're doing professional media and marketing. And, I could see them smile. We just want them to know we're going to take very, very good care of you and make sure that we're available when you need us. I don't know if that answered the question. It was a long-winded answer to probably a short question, but I think it's just caring about people and staying in contact, letting them know that you've heard them. The fact that we addressed the main pain point that they had gave us another shot.
Yeah, for sure. So much wisdom in there, Craig, and so much that I would just suggest you guys steal out there and use it and learn it. Sometimes, sales can be intimidating, but this isn't sales. We've talked about this a lot. This is relationship building. Yeah. Just use a couple of those prompts. And one thing is if you can't serve someone, just tell them. Don't make something up to get them to buy. Yeah. And that's the one thing we did a year and a half ago when we realized we were scheduling on arrival windows and it wouldn't work for the client. And we were straightforward in saying, hey, we're sorry. This is just the way we operate. And then Craig was able to rekindle that relationship and worked hard at building it. And, we were there to serve them. So much great wisdom in there and strategy in there, but it's not strategy, but it is. And, it's like it's like serving versus selling, selling versus serving. So
let me real quick, if you don't mind, Todd, let me give one more quick example. Just about not being honest about whether you can serve someone or not. So we did a listing for a client in the market up here, and the seller was so impressed with our photos and video that they contacted their realtor and said, hey, who did you have do that? Because they own and manage a kitchen and bath store in the city that we shot their home in, and they wanted some updated photos for their showroom and some of their displays and things like that. So in talking with them, and they wanted some photos of their sales team in the various displays. And in talking with the owner and with the showroom manager, we determined as a team, this is kind of outside of our scope. We do real estate, and what they were wanting was like vignettes and, product displays, which I felt as a photographer needed different lighting, a different lens setup, get that bokeh in the background. And we're just not set up for that. And initially I was trying to hold on to the showroom photos and then farm out and suggest to a different photographer to them to do their sales team. But as I dug more and asked more questions about what they were looking for with their vignettes and their displays and the showroom photos, I determined this is beyond what we would typically do. It would take a ton of time. We probably could do it, but there's others that would do it better. And it wasn't a good match. And so I let them know, hey, we've talked about this more. We've looked more at what it is that you need. And we don't think we're actually equipped to do it the way we think it should be done for you. I got a note back from the owner saying, I really appreciate that transparency and honesty, and you didn't just try and take the job. Thank you for passing on the referrals. I've actually got several rental properties that I also will need photos and video for that is in our wheelhouse. So we ended up, we're going to have future business because we were honest in saying, this we can't do for you. And here's some great resources for you to take care of what you need for this business that you have. So transparency and not just trying to sell and meeting the needs of the client, even if you're sending somebody else to them to take care of that, is going to just build so much credibility for you as a person and you as a company.
Yeah, that's so true. And it will pay off. It doesn't pay off in every one. It reminds me of the analogy where the kid has his hand in a jar and he's squeezing a penny, and he's squeezing it so tight that he can't pull his fist out of the jar. And all he's got to do is just let go of the penny, and then his hand will easily slide out of the jar. Sometimes we hold on to things so tight that it's just, it feels like, again, back to my original, point of the day is like, I can hold on to things and I can try to hit that window so hard. Sometimes you just got to relax, take a breath.
Right.
Take a breath. Yeah, no pun intended. That's what Spiro means, to breathe.
Take a breath.
Not fit in night. Yeah, take a breath. But it's true. Sometimes you need to. So, Craig, I'm going to run down. So y'all, if you're still with us, thank you. We are getting to the end. I'm going to let you guys go, but I wanted to give you the quick hits of what our VIP program is going to be to see if I can strike some chords in your mind. But I do feel as though you should have a VIP program. I do feel as though you should let these people know they're important to you. You should definitely know who these people are. So they should be flagged in your system as a VIP. They should be tagged as a VIP. You can easily do that in Spiro, but basically pick a percentage of your clients. We're doing 5%, and they are included in the program. Also, if you want to put other people in the program, we're leaving that up to our discretion. So these are brokers, owners, managing brokers. So the owners of the company, influential agents. So either you do it by revenue and or influence. But basically some benefits that they get. We're going to give them a certificate. If y'all have not realized, realtors love awards. Like, there's awards for everything in real estate. And, top producer, this level, that level, there's designations. Realtors love awards. So we're going to give them a certificate. Certificates that they can use in their office, and also a certificate they can use on social media. We're going to give them VIP access to our events. So I touched a little bit on events and these content events last podcast, but we're going to give them VIP access to the events. They're going to get rewards. So a monthly promotion, a different promotion every month for just exclusively for our VIP clients. They're going to have early access to new products. So as we R&D things, they're going to have early access to those. Because remember, your clients, and especially your VIPs, are always trying to find a way to be different. Remember, everyone copies your VIPs. Like they all copy your VIPs. And they're like, oh yeah, I was the first one to do that 5 years ago. Then everyone copied it. So give them access to your new products. We're going to give them priority media delivery. So they're going to be expedited first after our rush orders, and so that they will get their media very early before everyone else. And then we listen to our clients. No clients like any fees. So reschedule, cancellation fees, we're going to waive those for them. And then also trip fees. They don't like those. We're going to discount the trip fees for them. And then we're also going to give them a discount to our design center. So our in-house marketing team, where they can have logos, business cards, marketing flyers, and things like that design. We're going to give them a discount to that design center in-house for us. So those are some benefits of it. We're going to select them on a yearly basis. So we're going to look at a period of 12 months. We're going to pull the list, and then we're going to announce it. And we're going to make them feel good about it, and they're going to get those benefits. So those are some ideas. I'm not saying that's the end all be all. That's what we settled on, and that's what we thought would make them feel important. But if you're not doing something, I would highly encourage you to start thinking about doing something, because there's a very small percentage of your clients. There's a handful of your clients that are paying you most of your revenue. And I think it's super important to make sure that they are recognized, they hear from you, you keep up with them, and they feel important.
It's a great program and a great way to care for people and let them know that they're valued and appreciated. You don't ever want to take a client for granted, especially your VIPs.
Right.
Good stuff. All right. Well, Todd, that wraps up another episode of the Spiro podcast. Thanks for sharing the mindset, mindset for your business and your day and your life, and how to treat your VIPs well. If you have ideas on how you take care of your VIPs and how your mindset, a change in your mindset has affected your life and your business in a positive way, feel free to share that. If you're listening, you can email us hello@spiro.media. If you're watching on YouTube, just leave us a comment here on this episode on the channel, and we'd love to hear your feedback as well. And as always, if you have content ideas, business questions that you'd like to see the podcast address, again, let us know. hello@spiro.media. We would love to hear from you. So, Todd, that's going to wrap things up. Thanks for sharing what you did. And you guys just be thankful. Just be thankful. So often we can take things for granted, but if we live with a thankful spirit, it's just going to bring a lot of joy and satisfaction and contentment to your life. And don't forget to take a breath this week. Have a great one. Take care.
Thank you for joining us for the Spiro podcast, Managing Your Real Estate Photography and Videography Business. This is a production of Spiro and Wow Video Tours. You can find out more about Spiro's real estate media business management software at our website, spiro.media.